Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome to another episode of TV shows that I watch. So there's quite a few shows that I've watched lately. Either I've watched episodes of or I watched the whole series. There's 6 shows that I watched. Some of those just an episode or two. Superman and Lois is a show I've been talking about that I've watched and caught up on, and it's surprisingly very good. Well, the recent episode was the best episode of the show so far. That was incredible. Like the flashbacks to what's happened with well, I'm not gonna say because it's spoilers, but this villain, the villain of this show is has an interesting connection to Superman, and it really all comes out in the last few episodes. But this episode in particular, season 1, episode 11, best episode of the show so far. I'm not gonna say too much without spoiling it, but if you're into CW shows, this might be one of the best ones. It might be the best one going right now, actually. Haven't seen the Black Lightning episode recently, or Flash, or Legends of Tomorrow, but based on the 3 that I've seen, Superman and Lois is by far the best by what they're doing. I just love what they're doing with it, and it's very different for a Superman show. You know, they've done Superman movies and shows before. This one, he has 2 kids with Lois, and he lives in Smallville. After he's lived in Metropolis, he wants to move back. So it's a very different dynamic to what you normally see, at least on the big screen anyway. And the villain is very interesting as well. And this episode 11 had a lot of flashbacks, a lot of backstory, and the ending of it teased something very mad. So I'm all for it. I think the next episode's in like a month or so, unfortunately. I think for some reason they have too many mid-season breaks. There's been like 3 breaks where it's been like 2 weeks between the episode. It doesn't make any sense. But hopefully the next episode comes sooner than later, because that ending was incredible, and this episode was just incredible. Speaking of CW shows, I'm going to get them out of the way. I caught up on Batwoman. I didn't realize it was ending soon, actually, but the finale was literally like a few days ago. Before I knew that, I watched the previous 17 episodes, like in a space of a few days, and then I watched the finale. But going back to season 1, when they released the new trailer, the first trailer for the show, it was so cringy. Like they took all the cringiest parts of the show and put it into compilation. Basically, that's what it felt like, right? And actually, I like Ruby Rose. Like I liked her way before Batwoman. I think the first time I saw her was Triple X. But I saw her in other stuff, and I really liked her as an actress. So I thought, hey, her as Batwoman, it might actually work. And I was excited for it as well, because I've read about Batwoman, and I've seen her in a Batman movie before, an animated movie, but still I've seen Kate Kane before, animated version. And she was cool. I was just like, live action Kate Kane? Sure, bring it on. I want to see more of the Bat family. All right, bring on Kate Kane. But they didn't write it properly. It really frustrates me, because like obviously like in CW they want to push like representation, which is fine, which is great, but you got to do it organically to make it work, and you can make it work. I know there's always people that always hate on it regardless, and that's not fair. I know that's not fair, but studios do it 2 different ways, right? When you put representation in a movie, right? You either do it organically through the story, which works, or you do it to like push an agenda or a message. You can put a message in a movie or a show and it can be great, but you got to do it organically. It's got to benefit the story. That's the main thing. Example, Black Panther. It benefits the story, all right? They don't just push a narrative in your face. What they do in that movie benefits the story, and there's so many good examples of it being done right, where it benefits the story. But in this show, they just do it in the most not just this show either. It's other shows as well on CW. They do it in cringy ways, and it's just really frustrating. And I'm just gonna put it at that. Season 2, I felt was better than season 1. Basically, Ruby Rose stepped down. I don't know if was it because of the hate comments or was it something else, but Ruby Rose stepped down as Batwoman. So they replaced her with a new hero, and I actually liked her performances more. But again, sorry, that's my alarm. Again, the writing was poor, and I'm very annoyed, because this is a show that takes place in Gotham, starring one of the Bat family. Yeah, it's not Batman, but it's still someone cool. and they always find a way to ruin it. But I kind of do like the new Batwoman compared to the previous one. Also, they also recast Kate Kane. So, kind of spoilers, but not really. In episode 1, they say that Batwoman's gone, so there's someone else takes up the mantle. But the real Batwoman's still out there somewhere, and she's been recast. Not Ruby Rose, but Wallace Day. She was in Krypton, and she was good in that show. In this show, it kind of looks a bit weird. I don't know why. Obviously, she's not... I mean, there's a new Batwoman in this. It's not Kate Kane anymore, but I don't know. It just seems a little off to me, to be honest. Maybe because I'm used to seeing Ruby Rose as Batwoman, but yeah, I felt that was a bit weird. But yeah, I'm not going to say much else on it. But they have teased something good for season 3, so hopefully it's good. They had Black Mask for this season, which was interesting. And the storyline for Kate Kane's sister as well was quite interesting as well. Some interesting character development. There are some parts that I like to it, but for the most part, they need to improve on the writing, because they can make something great out of this show, but they just don't do it. Another show I've caught up on was Supergirl. This one was interesting because the way the last season ended and what happened to Lex after Crisis, it heavily affects this particular universe. But I got a little bored with some episodes. Some episodes were quite interesting, but with some episodes I kind of got a little bored. The thing I find really annoying. Also, by the way, they teased Batwing on Batwoman. They teased Batwing. I hope that's because the suit looks cool. I hope they make I hope they do something great with that, because the Batwing, the suit looks cool, and hopefully in season 3 he gets to shine. And also John Diggle turned up in Batwoman as well. Forgot to mention. But yeah, with the frustration I have with CW shows is they focus too much on the team rather than the hero. Like Flash. The Flash is supposed to be about the Flash, and like side characters are fine. Like you can make storylines out of them. That's fine, but a lot of the time I feel like watching the Flash, he's not the main character anymore. And it's the same feeling with Supergirl. She's supposed to be the main character, but it doesn't feel like she is. And it's the same with like what happened to Arrow as well. It became more about the team than the person. That's not how it should be. If you wanna make a team up show, make a team up show. All right. There's no problem with having other heroes in it that team up with the main hero, but you still got to make the main hero of the show. When you start to focus more on other characters than the actual subject of the show, I feel like that goes wrong. I'm not a particular fan of that. And you know what? After saying that, I'm going to stop talking about the CWDC shows. I do like them to an extent. That's why I keep watching them, because I like superheroes. I like the idea of a cinematic universe, and the TV universe I think is pretty cool. But it frustrates me because they have great characters, and all they got to do is, write it well. I'm not saying I could do better. I couldn't. But they could do better. They really could. They could do better. I've also caught up on Riverdale. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why I watch that show, to be honest. I have an issue with letting go of shows. When I start a show, even if it goes bad, I keep watching. I need to stop this. Because Riverdale has Riverdale. What made Riverdale is not there anymore, because they did a big time jump. I'm just like, okay, you've lost me here. What's going on? But yeah, enough about that. Rick and Morty. They released a new season. I mean, not the whole season, but they've released 2 episodes. And I was very entertained. I really was. I know that this show has particular meanings and messages behind each episode. There's always little details in there, little Easter eggs. I always watch the film theory videos on Rick and Morty. There's always little hidden things and details and things that, intellectuals would know. I'm just here for the entertainment. I'm just there to... I'm not there to look for any details or hidden messages. I'm just there to watch and enjoy the show, and my word, is it entertaining. The first episode, what happened... Wait, I can't remember... What was the plot of it? I've forgotten already, but I really, I watched it last night before going to bed. It was really enjoyable. Episode 2, though, I remember really well. The decoy episode. That was hilarious, because it felt like, I was going to say Inception, but no, it's not that. But it was tripping me, because there was a lot of decoys, a lot of different families, and you're wondering, which one's the real family? And I'm always thinking, oh, it's this one. Then it's not that one. And then at the end, you're like, this is the real one, right? Is it the real one, or is it not? It's crazy. It's crazy. What happens, especially like all these identical families going to war in a battle royale, and then the last one standing is not a decoy and and the real family. I just loved what it did with it. And episode 1 was really awesome. Oh yeah, it was about these other species. Morty kept going to their dimension and kept destroying them and coming back years. Yeah, I remember that. That's a bad explanation, but I really enjoyed that. And what's his name? Nimbo, the king of the ocean. Can't remember his name. He was quite it was quite funny. But yeah, the Rick and Morty's a good show. If you haven't seen it before, it's like an animated show made for adults. So you know, it's probably the best mature animated show going right now, so I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. And finally, Line of Duty. This is a British TV show. It's about bent cops. It's about corrupt police officers, and it's about a police unit that's tasked with taking down corrupt police officers. So basically how each season goes is there's a few corrupt police officers, maybe like one, maybe it's a group of them, and eventually they get interrogated by this unit, AC-12, and then things happen. All right, so that's a very bad explanation, but I'm basically telling you how each season goes. It's really good. It's really good. In a way, quite repetitive, but also really good because every villain from each season is all connected to one big bad, shall we say. And even though each show is a different villain, they're all connected in some way, and each season builds up towards getting up and up the ladder in terms of like who's corrupt and on what level. And season 6, which is the most recent season, was very interesting. Honestly, probably one of the weaker seasons. This show has been solid. Every season has been solid. This might be one of the weaker seasons, mainly because the ending was not that satisfying. And this is the first season where I felt the ending wasn't that satisfying. Other seasons I felt, hey, this was good, well rounded up. The recent season, season 6, I felt the ending was not as satisfying as the other seasons. Although, having said that, it did seem like a realistic ending. I'll say that much. As much as I don't like it, and many people don't like it actually, it felt like a realistic ending. Like, it wasn't a terrible ending, but it's fictional, but it felt realistic in a way. But yeah, they casted, obviously you get the main cast, but the new cast that they had for new Ben's Coppers, they casted things really well. So I like that. They also had recurring characters, obviously, recurring corrupt police officers from previous seasons. And yeah, I liked it. It's just that it didn't go how I wanted it to at the end. It wasn't quite satisfying. I'm hoping it wasn't the last season. I heard there's rumors that it might have been. I'm hoping there's a season 7, but it's not been like they've not said no, but it's not been confirmed as a season 7. So I hope there is, because I think we deserve a bit more than what we got in season 6. But still a solid show that I really enjoyed. So yeah, hopefully there's another season, and I look forward to watching that. So yeah, I got the in terms of like CW shows, I got the 2 least interesting ones out of the way. So I look forward to watching the rest of them very soon. And I don't know if I'll see you next week, but we'll see. I got episodes to catch up on. I think next I watch Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash and Black Lightning. I'll catch up on those, and then I'll move on to other shows like Stargirl or The 100. I haven't finished that yet. The last season aired like months ago. I've seen 7 episodes, so I need to watch the rest of the season. But yeah, for now, this is what I've seen, and I look forward to watching some more episodes soon. and letting you know about it. Maybe not next week, but we'll see. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.